Hi, welcome to Rank It, Draft It, Bracket. I'm your host Derek here with my good buddy Josh, and we have a guest here with us tonight. One of my best buds, David, and with a glorious haircut here. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to be drafting Disney players onto a hypothetical basketball team. We're going to fill out our starting five, point guard, shooting guard, two forward positions, and a center, as well as getting a six man on there. Unfortunately, Space Jam is not a Disney movie, so Michael Jordan won't be the number one pick here. But we feel like we're kind of following in the footsteps of that, and we'll have some pretty good rosters here for Disney characters.
Yeah, I'm super excited to do this, Derek. That's for sure. We have been talking about it for a little while, and definitely wanted to get another guest on here to shake up just the back and forth between you and I and Dave. I'm like I said before show, I'm itching to see where you go number one because that could set the whole draft board off for me, definitely. So I mean, unless you got something else, Derek or Dave, why don't we just get right into it? And Dave, you're on the clock.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for bringing me on here. I'm pumped, and I think when I did my rankings, I came away with a clear number one pick. And I don't know if you guys were thinking the same thing, and I really appreciate being number one. I'm actually going to throw a little bit of a curveball in terms of where I put this person on my team, but I'm going to draft a sixth man first.
Okay.
And it's one of, if not the greatest character, the most malleable character, and that's the genie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had him as my clear tier one, all by himself in that tier, no one else even close.
Yeah.
This is a Zion Anthony Davis level prospect here. And I'm just glad to get him on my team. I want to thank God for this opportunity, and we're just blessed. And we're really looking forward to the future.
See, he could be anybody. He could be anybody. You could throw him at point guard if you wanted to. He could shoot up to be a 7-foot center if you wanted to. He could be anybody. So he's LeBron James. He's Michael Jordan.
At once.
Yeah,
like he's your 6th through 10th man.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's so good. If you need to throw in like the lamp to weigh him down or something.
When you call him back, you sub him out. You're like, just rub the lamp. He gets sucked. Goes back in there. That's what he do. Okay,
right. So
wow.
Maybe he won't be my sixth man forever, but we'll play that by ear.
Yeah, we can move him around. You can move him around for sure. Definitely anticipated this, but it doesn't sting any less. That's for sure. I'm gonna go. I think this was my clear number two, though. One of, if not the best athletes in, I think, Disney cinematic history, and that's Hercules. I'm going to stick Hercules at my small forward position for the time being. I think he could, he's a little tall, I think, to guard or play two. So I want to have him just be like my wing defender right now, maybe match up on some power forwards. You might need to lock down a genie or something. So I'm going to stick Hercules at 3 for now, at my small forward.
Okay.
Very happy to get him at number 2 still.
That's a good pick. He was definitely in my second tier here. So, all right. So I've got 2 picks in a row here. And I didn't anticipate caring about team chemistry necessarily. But I'm going to make these 2 picks with that in mind.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Dash and Elastigirl. Kind of get some superpowers here on my team. I'm going to go with Dash as my point guard, that pure speed. Maybe he can only be matched. I guess we'll see with Hercules if he could, make it up the court in time. But, the Genie might be able to. And then probably, at least right now, throw Elastigirl at the 3. Maybe not quite, the strength to handle Hercules at the 3. But, to be able to handle shots from, she could probably just block shots anywhere, stretching around the court. So that's what I'm going with for my second round pick there.
Yeah, Elastigirl was high on my list. I was definitely really considering getting her right here with my second round to throw as my sixth woman. First off the bench, she can guard anybody, right? She, unmatched length with Elastigirl there. So that's a good pick, definitely. Are you concerned about Dash's height at all? I know the speed, he can just go right by anybody, but I mean,
with that kind of speed, like you can get an open shot, you can, facilitate, he could just run around the court. You can probably barely even tell if he's dribbling. So that might be a concern, how refs called the game towards him. But no, not really too concerned about his height. I don't think I need him to probably score too much for me.
He's a clear facilitator for you, definitely. Okay. So I'm back. It's back to me with my second pick, and God, I have so many opportunities, so many different ways I can go here. I think I'm gonna go with. Oh gosh. I think I'm going to go with my power forward. I'm going to keep it in the Incredible family here. I didn't really find any outside of the Genie possibly slotting in at power forward for me, as well. I didn't really like some of the other options other than maybe this last one, and that's Mr. Incredible. I'm going to go with him, second pick. Again, going with the strength, the muscle there, and he can put Dash in timeout. So definitely is the bugaboo for that one there. I'm going Mr. Incredible. He's got size, he's got strength, to bully people down below. Going with Mr. Incredible, my power forward.
Josh, I'm noticing your team is really built on size, right? You're really throwing it back to like the Pistons and Spurs of the mid 90s.
We might go bad boys here. I have to see with where the rest of the draft board works out. But, you're absolutely right. I need athletes on my team. I need strength. I need that muscle. So definitely. But where are you going, Dave, with two picks?
Yeah, I've got two in a row. I definitely know where I'm going here, but I meant to mention this when you drafted Hercules second overall. I really got strong Michael Kidd-Gilchrist vibes coming out of that pick. We'll see. He's got a lot to live up to, being drafted right after Genie. So
I'm hoping he has more offense than Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, that's for sure.
I wanted to think about, I have the Genie, right? That means that I have a license to play around, and I really like Derek's point of building a team based on not size and speed, but their thought, their personality, like who they are. And so I'm going to take my point guard here. This might be a bit of a shocker. I went for brains over brawn on this one. I'm taking Mulan as my point guard.
It's a good one. Mm-hmm.
She spent her whole life overcoming obstacles, and she kicks butt. And I think that she's someone who as soon as she steps out on the court, she has the respect of her teammates and her peers.
That's a great pick. Yeah, I had Mulan on my big board as well, as either the one or the two, because she can just she's a lockdown defender as well. Very athletic. We saw that on display too. That's a good pick.
Very athletic, yeah.
I like it.
Not quite as fast, right? But I mean, she's sort of the Nash. She doesn't need to rely on pure speed.
Precise with her movements,
Mm-hmm.
Very precise. Okay. It seems like you guys are really hitting strength and size, and so I'd be remiss if I let this person get off the board. I had this person actually second in my center category, then I'm going to move her up to the first. I'm taking Ursula as my center because I think that her versatility with her number of limbs can guard multiple people simultaneously. And so while Elastigirl can stretch out, Ursula can basically, you can stick her at half court and she can guard everyone.
I had not considered that. That is strong. I like that.
I threw Ursula off my board because of the necessity of water. So I think it's going to be continuous, like just dousing on the bench, to get her ready. But we'll see how she plays. There's a lot of moisture in the air sometimes when you're on a basketball court, so it might work out to her benefit. But I like the picks there. So we're back to me now for my third pick, and see, you guys both have like a guard at least, so I don't know that I have to go there. I think I have a couple good options at center, so I might wait on the comeback with that one. So, you know what? I think I am going to go with my shooting guard here. I am having them slotted in at 2. This person, you talk about, facing adversity. and having to overcome a lot of challenges, just like Mulan did. I can't think of maybe another natural born defender. Such a great thief of the ball there,
if you will.
A great pickpocket. Will lead the league in steals every year, and that's Aladdin. I'm going with Aladdin at my number 2. Always going to have a nice cheering section there with the magic carpet and Abu. It's going to be great to see them on my sideline as well, cheering me on, unless one of you bastards drafts them. But Aladdin, definitely going to be my shooting guard for now. Maybe move him to 1, depending on where the rest of the draft board goes. But right now I'm having him at 2.
Yeah, that's exactly who I was hoping would fall to me with the next pick, to specifically be my 2. So kind of reeling here a little bit, trying to stall while I look at who's next on my board. Do you think, Dave, that there's going to be any conflict, Genie and Aladdin being on different sides here?
I was thinking that. I kind of thought it would be like, the way that LeBron goes to people at the end of every game and whispers something weird in their ear, and then they always seem to end up on his team. I kind of get that sense here with Aladdin, and I was wondering if he gets the magic carpet or if that's a separate character. Does he have to dribble in that case? What are the rules?
I mean, that's a
good
point.
Steps,
yeah,
that's where I was looking at it.
So
I have a few guys on my board also that fly necessarily.
One thing that just came to mind really quickly here to touch on the relationship between the Genie and Aladdin. So are we talking end of Aladdin, end of the movie Genie where he's freed, or are we talking most of the movie where technically Aladdin can wish him to go away? He can wish him to be injured or something, and we can take Genie just right out of that game.
Well, who is, that raises a great question. Who is the Genie beholden to? I've got him under contract.
But so you've got the lamp, shall we say. Yeah, okay. Interesting. That might be a off-season trade we need to work out there to get
would Aladdin want to use a wish on that, though? Does he care that much about this basketball game and winning?
If he cares about his contract and getting paid for this one hypothetical fake game, he absolutely will use his wish on it.
Okay.
That's from his manager.
Is Jasmine in the stands?
You know it. She's on my team, too.
Well,
she's on my sidelines.
You never know. She might get drafted here soon.
I swear to God, if either of you draft her. Derek, go ahead with your...
with the next pick in the draft, I've got... All right. Let's see here. I think I'm going to address my center position first. And I feel like watching this guy, you get flashbacks to young Shaq just destroying everybody in his wake. And, with no real answer for how to do it, maybe the league has to change some rules around this. Going to go with Wreck-It Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of size.
It's a good pick.
Quite a bit bigger than everybody else. I don't know that Ursula wants to, handle him in the post, but I think that'll be a good matchup. We might have to go through a few different backboards throughout the game, but we'll be prepared for that.
Ursula can take him on with one tentacle tied behind her back.
Okay, I guess we'll see. Yeah.
You're saying early days Shaq with the body type. I'm thinking more of early days Oliver Miller with the body type. He's a little more wide. I think Wreck-It Ralph's a little wider than the prime Shaq, shall we say? But still, I like the again. Don't need to convince me about needing muscle down low in the post. So that's a good pick down there.
Also, he's not afraid to mix it up. If Mr. Incredible, is throwing elbows, Ralph's there to fuck him up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, he is ready to rock.
You're absolutely right about that.
Oh, man. All right. I don't really know where I want to go here. So I kind of need a 2-guard and my power forward. I think I'm going to fill the power forward spot with this guy. I feel like was 1 and 2 with being a center for me with Wreck-It Ralph, and I'm going to go with Sully from Monsters Inc. a lot of size, scary guy. Can feel like a lot of intimidation factor seeing the Twin Towers there essentially. So that's who I'm going with for my fourth round pick here.
So I had Sully as one of definitely my possible centers, actually, because I looked up. I think I did a quick Google search when we were doing this. Something about honestly Disney characters as basketball players, and Sully came up with a height of like 6'11" or something like that. So I think you got to throw him as your center there. I don't know Wreck-It Ralph's exact size per se, but I'm thinking it might not be quite 6'11". So you might need to go with a Sully at center.
Yeah, I might need to flip those two. Well, according to Ralph himself, he is 9 feet tall.
Wow. Okay. Shut me up right away. Yeah.
I've got a 9-foot player and a 7-foot player. You guys, and a lady who can stretch as much as possible. We're playing a lot of defense here on my team.
I was kind of getting strong. So, yeah.
I was getting strong Charles Barkley vibes from Wreck-It Ralph. I thought he was a little bit shorter and a lot squatter, but 9 feet's going to be tough to compete with. We're going to have to look and see how do we beat that enormous size.
Also, apparently really 643 pounds, which I guess makes sense for a man who's 9 foot tall and that rotund. So he's
basically
he's gonna be a monster.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really know where to proceed after those facts, but I think there's only one possible real solid center left on the board, so I'm just going to take him so I don't miss it, and that's the Beast. I'm going to take him with my next pick. Again, pretty big size. I mean, well, I guess compared to Bell, anybody would be large, but subjectively, I think he's a pretty big guy there. I'm going to take him. He's definitely got that tenacity as well. Scary as hell down to see him down low. So I'm going to stick with the Beast at my 5 spot.
Obviously,
the Beast
pre like Rose and all that, like
actual Beast, not Prince. We're going Beast for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I need him to be as a anamorph, shall we say?
Well, you just wiped off all the bigs from my draft board over the last couple rounds, so I'm going to have to go small. I think that's the way I'm going to win. I'm going to be the 2015 Warriors over here. I'm going to draft the closest thing that Disney ever created to JJ Redick, and I'm going to draft Peter Pan. Because can you imagine chasing him around the court for 48 minutes? I think his speed, his speed and his guile, his moxie, his winning attitude, I think is really going to shine through. I think you pair him and Mulan, and they've got a certain quality that other teams and other characters are missing.
Can he handle the adversity? I mean, he is still just a child. He wants to stay a child forever. I don't know that he can handle, tough situations.
That's a great point. That's definitely not something I thought about, but now that you bring that up, I think that he won't let the pressure get to him. He doesn't understand the pressure of the situation.
That's fair. He was like on my board pretty high. Especially, I don't think he has to dribble, right? Like, if you're not stepping on the ground.
Right. I kind of see him, like I said, as JJ Redick or Klay Thompson, a guy who just runs around and doesn't take a dribble, just shoots and wears out defenders throughout the game.
I had him on my board too, so that's a solid pick.
Since Hercules and Beast and all of the big boys are off the board, like I said, I'm going to have to go small here. And so I'm going to put Peter Pan at my 2 guard. I think do I need a 3?
I think you got your 2 forward spots left.
Okay.
Unless you're swapping Genie.
Yeah, I'm going to play that one by ear and see who's left on the board. And what do you need to be a great basketball player, right? You need skill, right? You need know-how, but most of all, you need confidence. And so I'm going to take someone who has more confidence in their space helmet than any of your players have, and that's Buzz Lightyear. I think that he is not afraid to take the big shot at the end of the game, and I don't think you can put a price on that.
That's I like the moxie and I like the confidence that you're rolling with there. Before I bring a counterpoint up to drafting Buzz Lightyear. I'm gonna let Derek. You sound like you had something to say there, so go ahead.
Well, I just wonder if his confidence puts him in like the Nick Young area, where he's shooting, he's turning around, he thinks it's going in, and it just rims out, and he's already celebrating down the floor.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Listen, Nick Young has the confidence of an amazing player, but there are plenty of amazing players who actually have the talent and the confidence to match. And I think now this is just based on scouting, advanced scouting, but I think that Buzz has the requisite skill to match the talent. I hope. There's a lot on the line. I know it was sort of a risky pick, but I have to build my team the way that I think good teams are built.
Fair.
All right. Now the one counterpoint I will bring up is, you mentioned size. Are you concerned about a 1.5 foot tall toy, out there on the basketball court?
Matching up against Dash, I think I'll be okay.
True. Dash will probably just want to play with him anyways. You'll take that focus right out of the game. That'll work well if that's your matchup. Okay. I'm left with my point guard, or a guard, and a big and a sixth man here. So I need to grab a point guard. I initially had this point guard second on my power rankings, or my list here, but with some of the speed that we have in the backcourt, I think I'm going to have to push this guy up to number one because I need some speed, and that is Frozone. It's going to be best friends with Mr. Incredible. We got a lot of chemistry there on the court too. The pick and roll game between those two is going to be unmatched. And Frozone definitely's got the speed to keep up with Dash, I believe. You just throw some ice down. He's skating across the court, literally makes it hard for everyone else that's on the opposing team. They don't know what he's doing. And it's Samuel L. Jackson behind the voice there. What else motivates you more than Samuel L. Jackson? So Frozone's definitely going to be my point guard here with my fifth pick.
Interesting. So how quickly does his ice go away? Like, is this going to be like a hazard going up and down for everybody else?
We'll have to deal with that when we get to it. But as far as I can see, there is nothing in the rules about not being able to use your superpowers. So, you just got to make sure your team is aware of it.
I guess
the mop boys are going to be out there. Yeah, absolutely.
Destroy that ice, clear it up.
Do you think that could? Do you think Frozone's ice could potentially be a benefit to Ursula?
That's a very good point. It could. She could just slide around on that, get some water out of it.
How's the rest of your team going to handle the ice?
We got some plays in the book there that we're going to have our offense is strictly based on spacing. And again, the pick and roll game between Frozone and Mr. Incredible is going to, work wonders there. So, don't worry about our game plan. We'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Okay. All right, let's see. So I got my last two picks here. So I got a shooting guard and a sixth man. Well, I'm pretty sure my shooting guard, I've got, I'm going to go with Robin Hood. He's a great shooter. I feel like that probably got to translate somehow. I've heard rumors that Steph Curry was a good archer as a kid, so that's where that comes from.
I can confirm. Yeah, I can confirm.
So I think I'm going to notch him into the 2-guard spot here.
Another good thief there, right? He's got to be good at picking some pockets there with the basketball too, right? A natural thief. So
yeah, very sly.
Oh yeah,
a thinker. Plans ahead. So I think he brings a lot to the team. Again, I have a lot of size in my front court, but not a lot in my back court. So it's kind of a mix there. But I think he'll match up good with the team. The inside-out game I'm going for here.
That Aladdin Robin Hood matchup is going to be one for the ages. That's going to go down, in history as one of the best shooting guard matchups there, I think.
Yeah, you can't dribble the ball around those guys. I mean, they'll take it before you even cross half court.
Well, is why you have a guy who's not going to dribble at your 2-guard. Kind of perfect matchup there.
Absolutely. All right, Derek, sixth man, where are you going with this?
All right, so I had this idea this entire time to go with this as my sixth man. And as we were kind of going through the draft, I was kind of leaning away from it, but I think I've got to go full force, go right back into it, and go with adult Simba as my sixth man. Who's going to guard a lion? Who's going to go into the paint against a lion? Fearsome. King of jungle.
That's who.
Like, literally a beast. I think he's going to destroy the beast. He's only been a beast for a couple years. This guy's an actual lion. And, he may use his 6 fouls, but the opponents are going to feel those 6 fouls big time. So
if they can even get back up, yeah. You might take some guys out of games.
I might win by, just by disqualification, just because your team runs out of players that can, be on the court.
I don't know where to go, how to respond to that, really. He's definitely not dribbling any basket. You're not counting on him for offense, really any defense other than to just scare the hell out of everybody.
Not a basketball player, but
yeah,
I'm going to lead the league in intimidation, and that's
he's an enforcer for sure.
Yep.
Wow. I'm definitely thrown off here now. Well, I'm not sure where to go. I feel like I missed a whole opportunity to, do I go? Wow. So you know what? I'm gonna pivot now from my strategy. Derek, you just set me up perfectly, I think, for what I want to do. I have not been shy about wanting size and strength on my team. I thought a little bit about Tarzan here initially. Again, can go guard, I think, any position except maybe center. Again, with the athlete. I had Stitch on there. Again, just a tenacious defender. That guy's not leaving you alone. Also had Maui as a possibility of a big, of power forward. Again, you're not missing with size there. But since you set us up with Simba there, having animals on the court acting as enforcers, I'm going to pivot here and I'm going to go to Kerchak as my 6th man from Tarzan, that asshole gorilla dad that wanted nothing to do with Tarzan. Again, who's going to guard a gorilla? Nobody. No, everyone. There's your matchup.
Like Sully is going to have no problem with a gorilla.
I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have. There's going to be some strength to strength matchup there. I definitely think Kerchak would not be afraid of Simba. At least that's one thing I can say. He'll bash him in with a couple of hammer punches or something. So I think that's the best way I can counter with Simba at 6th man.
Well, I guess I have a question out there. Then for Dave here. Who wins in a fight between a lion and a gorilla?
Is this fight taking place on a basketball court?
I mean, maybe.
Let me say this about Simba. I was absolutely 100% going to draft him. I saw him as a coach on the floor, if you will, right? He's a grown man. He knows what he's doing. He'll lay down the rules. But I have to think gorilla.
Okay. Just was curious.
You just get a couple, that grab around him. You just got to grab him. Done. Just snapped right there. Snap that back,
One of the things I think that y'all are forgetting about is that there's a rule in basketball known as the personal foul. And I think that looking at the enormous size and unwieldy strength of your team, that the personal foul might be their downfall. I think you guys might have more players on the bench than on the floor by the end of the game.
That's fair.
That's a good point.
I mean,
yeah,
it's possible. But big guys, real big guys do get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt with physical contact. So
that's true. Well, I had to think about, okay, how am I going to be creative here and how am I going to match their strength with my strength? And so I had to do some roster reshuffling. I'm going to move Genie into my starting lineup. He's going to be my starting 4 to combat the size of y'all's team. And I thought, how can I get someone who can defend the size, the strength, the speed of each of your teams while still being able to remain on the court without fouling? And I thought the answer was obvious. Jafar. When Jafar can lock you down without touching you, go and steal the ball, and all he has to do is pass it to one of my amazing scorers. I mean, that's an easy 2 points every possession.
Interesting. I always thought he was a little weak.
Right. if he does not want to bang in the post, Jafar does not want to bang. He wants to be out there on the perimeter, using his natural talent to lock people down from a distance.
Okay.
That's I get. Obviously, this means he gets his accessory. We're allowing accessories on the court, so I think that means definitely that my Aladdin gets the magic carpet at least. But I'm just looking over these teams here, and we'll throw them on the screen so everybody can see. But yeah, there is quite a discrepancy in size. Looking at Dave's team. I mean, you can always increase your size with Genie. Just hey, add a few pounds there, buddy. And you can be bigger. But yeah, running down the picks here, we got Mulan at point guard, Peter Pan at shooting guard, Buzz Lightyear at small. We're going with the three guard lineup there. Genie right now at power forward, Ursula at center, and Jafar is your sixth man. It's definitely a very technical team, a very precise team, as you've been stating. Ball movement is what your guys are going to be all about. I like it. I definitely like it. Pivot over to my squad here. We got Frozone at point guard, Aladdin at shooting guard, Hercules at small forward, Mr. Incredible at power forward, the Beast at center, and then sixth man is Kerchak, the gorilla from Tarzan, and then Derek to take us home, going with Dash at point guard from The Incredibles, Robin Hood at shooting guard, Elastigirl. I still love that pick. It's a great pick. Elastigirl at small forward, Wreck-It Ralph at power forward. I'm sorry, Sully at power forward, Wreck-It Ralph at center, and then an adult lion Simba running around on the court. We will definitely have some Malice at the Palace going on if we ever gets into the stands. That's something to be watch out for. But I love all three of our teams. Honestly, it could go either way. I wish there was a way to actually see this in play. But that's the wonder that we got of our imaginations here. That's what Disney teaches us, right, kids? Use our imaginations. So, Dave, I appreciate you jumping on tonight and having some fun with us with this draft. What did you think? What was your thoughts and your experience of this wacky world we got here?
Yeah, thank you guys. It was a blast. I want to say about my team, when we take the court, we need to play our way if we're going to win. We definitely can't match up the size of who's your three guard, Josh?
I have Hercules right now.
Yeah.
Hercules versus Buzz Lightyear is a little interesting matchup there.
Like I said, things have to break our way. We have to really execute our game plan. But yeah, this was awesome. I love your last point, right? You got to use your imagination and have fun with it. So thanks, y'all, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the rest of you, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Give us a subscribe. We'll see you on the next video that we do. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys.